Good morning, class.
Good morning, teacher.
So before we start, let's stand up to have our opening prayer. Let us put our hands together, bow our hands, and feel the presence of our dear God, Lord. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Alright, please sit down. They're absent today?
No, teacher.
Okay, very good for perfect attendance. So for the starting of our class today, we will have our energizer first. I prepare here an activity called Unscramble Me. So for the instruction, we will guess what part of digestive system as shown here in the picture and unscrambling the corresponding letter. So let's have our first one. What do you think this is? Yes, Abby.
Mouth, teacher.
Mouth. Let's check. Very good. It's correct. How about this? Yes, Yana.
Esophagus, teacher.
It is esophagus. Very good. How about this? Yes, Diane.
Stomach, teacher.
Stomach. Let's check. It is stomach. Very good. We have two left to go. What do you think this is? Yes, Marvin.
Intestine, teacher.
Intestine. Intestine. Let's check. It is intestine. And the last one?
Anus, teacher.
Anus. Let's check. It is anus. Very good, everyone. We got it all correct. So for the starting of our discussion for today, here are the objectives of what we're going to learn. First, discuss how digestive organs work together to carry out digestion of food and assimilation of nutrients. Describe the function of each organ and trace the pathway of food through digestive tract. And illustrate how ingestion, absorption, assimilation, and excretion takes place in the interaction of digestive system with the circulatory, respiratory, and excretory system. Now, here are the full parts of the digestive system. You will notice here in the picture the different organs of the digestive system. So, what is digestive system? Eliza, can you read it?
Digestive system is the system organ responsible for getting food into and out for the body for making use food to keep the body healthy.
Okay, thank you, Eliza. Meaning, digestive system is the system of human body that are responsible to break down the food that we take into smaller particles and took the nutrients to nourish the human body. Now, we will explore the different function of each organ, as well as we will also trace the pathway of food where when it starts and where will it ends. But before that, we have here the different digestive system of different organisms. We have here a salamander, shark, pigeon, lizard, and cow. Now, what do you notice of the different digestive system of different organisms? All of them have the same organs or parts of the digestive system, just like esophagus, stomach, intestine, liver, gallbladder, pancreas, and so on, that are same with the human digestive system. Now, these organisms are called vertebrates, including the human. They are the organism or animals that has a spinal column or backbone. They are also organisms that has a complex digestive system, meaning they are a well-developed digestive system wherein mouth and gut or stomach or belly are responsible as important parts of the digestion process of these organisms. In human digestion, there are two distinct processes that involve, called as physical digestion and chemical digestion. So what are the difference between the two? Physical digestion is the mechanical breakdown of food into smaller particles. meaning a non-chemical means are happened and not necessarily to have substances to break down the food into small particles. Usually, physical digestive system occur in physical digestion, while here in chemical digestion is the breakdown of the complex molecules such as protein, starch, and fats contained in the food into simple soluble molecules. Here in chemical digestion, it necessarily to have a substances or chemical to break down the food into smaller soluble molecules. This is the part where to get the nutrients taken from the food. Chemical digestion happen in mouth, stomach, and intestine. Now, let's get to know more about human digestive system, particularly in each organ. In order to survive, the one organism, it needs to feed by ingesting of solid or liquid food matter that can take in other organisms just like plants and animals. Intake of food are in the process wherein converting food substance into living matter, called as nutritious. The mode of feeding of the animals and human is called as holozoic nutritious, and the human nutritious are in different processes. Two of these processes are called as feeding or ingestion or digestion. So what is feeding or ingestion? Feeding or ingestion is the intake of food into the body, meaning it starts at the mouth, while the digestion is a mechanical and chemical breakdown of food into smaller components that are more easily absorbed into a bloodstream. Now, we will have the journey of the food. Usually, it starts at the mouth, wherein direct at mouth cavity. Here in mouth cavity, consisting of upper and lower jaw. Upper jaw is an unmovable while the lower jaw is movable jaw. And here in jaw can be seen the teeth. And teeth is the important accessory of mouth because it helps us to grinding, masticating, cutting, biting, and gunning the food intake. Another importance of mouth is tongue. Tongue has special cells or taste buds that help us to choose the food that we want. Tongue contains of saliva or mucin that help us to soften the food while masticating and help to break down the food into smaller pieces. After chew the food, the process is to swallow and then enter it to the next part of digestive system, which is esophagus via pharynx. Another important part of the digestive system. Pharynx is the common passage for food and air. A part of the gut leads from the mouth to the trachea or windpipe. The next journey of the food is in esophagus. Esophagus is a narrow muscle tube from the Greek word means to carry what is eaten. That's actually the main function of esophagus. Esophagus consists of several layers of muscles. In outer layers, it's called as longitudinal muscles, and in inner layer, it's called as circular muscles. These muscles causes a rhythmic wave-like construction of the walls of the gut that called as peristalsis. And the next journey of food is in stomach. Stomach is a J-shaped organ that lies beneath the diaphragm. Stomach has 8 thick muscles contract to mash the food into sloppy soup. Then peristalsis in stomach is a wall churns the food and mixes it well with the gastric juices. Gastric juices is a dilute hydrochloric acid and the enzyme pepsis, an active enzyme secreted by the chief cells of the gastric glands that help to break the food into smaller particles chemically. Food in the stomach can remain about 2 to 6 hours but can stay longer up to 24 hours. Now, partly digested food turned as liquid and called it as chyme. Chyme is the semi-fluid of masses of partly digested food expelled by the stomach that in small amount gradually gradually transfer to the next part of digestive system, which is the small intestine. But before we proceed in small intestine, here first the different accessory organs and glands of the digestive system. We have here the liver, gallbladder, and pancreas. Liver is the largest glands of the body and a dark red made up of 5 lobes, 3 on the right and 2 on the left. The main function of liver is to aid digestion by producing an alkaline or a bitter alkaline secreted that aids in absorption and digestion, especially of fats. This is called as bile. And this bile is stored in a greenish yellow bag attached to the liver, called as gallbladder. It helps to breaking up the large fat particles into a smaller one, called as emulsification. Next is pancreas, a soft triangular gland that can be seen between small intestine and stomach. Pancreas produce a pancreatic juice, the mix of digestive enzymes. Also, it secretes the hormone insulin. The next journey of food is small intestine. Small intestine wherein absorption of nutrients and minerals from food takes place. Small intestine consists of 3 parts: a U-shaped duodenum, the jejunum, and the ileum or machcol, and it's about 6 meters or 20 feet long. After this small intestine absorb the nutrients, the digestive substances like water and cellular will transfer to the large intestine. Large intestine, as you can see here, is shorter but broader than small intestine, and it's about 1.5 long, and the main function is to absorb water and mineral salt from the undigested food. You can also see here the appendix. Appendix is a small 2 to 4 inch pouch located near where the large and small intestine meets. And the next part is rectum. Rectum is 8-inch chamber that connects to the colon and to the anus. The main function is to receive stool from the colon. And after that is anus. Anus is the last part of the digestive tract that detects rectal contents. Now, a process of removing undigested matter or material from the body is called as egestion or defecation or bowel movement. Now, this is now the last journey of the food in our body. After knowing the different functions of each organ of the digestive system, you might be asking, what happens to the nutrients absorbed by the cells and how do they help in overall function of the digestive system? The answer is they are providing a fuel or energy in human body, and other nutrients is used as raw material for biosynthesis of organic material in our human body. Here, the process of transport and use of absorbed nutrients are called as assimilation. Simple sugar is converted in glycogen and stored in the liver. Glucose used by cells for energy production, and amino acid is converted to as new protoplasms used for growth and repair of worn out parts of tissues, used for formation of enzymes and hormones. And lastly, the fats used to build protoplasm in cells membranes, excess fats, and it's stored in special tissues called as adipose tissues. Now, here are the interaction of the different body systems. As we tackled, the main function of the digestive system is to process the food that we eat and get the nutrients. These nutrients will pass on circulatory system. All nutrients absorbed by digestive system will distributed by circulatory system through its blood in different parts to nourish the body. And here in respiratory system, the main function is to process the oxygen in our body. The cells need oxygen to release energy that is stored in the food molecules like glucose. This process is called as cellular respiration. Lastly, in excretory system, the function is to remove the waste product in our body to have a balance. So basically, this is how this body system interact with each other. So that's all about the structure and function that focus on digestive system. Do you have any question or clarification? Okay, thank you. This time we will have our activity that reflects your understanding on our discussion. We will call it Arrange Me. All you have to do is to arrange the process of the digestive system, which come first, second, third, and fourth. So here are the process. I give you 5 minutes to analyze what would be the first, second, third, and fourth processes of the digestive system. Okay, time's up. Let's answer. Who would like to answer first? What is the first processes? Yes, Diane.
The first process in the digestive system is digestion begins in the mouth, chewing it ends in the small intestine.
Okay, very good. That was the first processes. And the second process? Yes, Eliza.
The second process in the digestive system is as food passes through the GI tract, mixes with digestive juices, causing large molecules of food to break down into smaller molecules.
Okay, very good. It was the second processes. How about the third processes? Oh, yes, Marvin.
The third process in the digestive system is the body that absorbs the smaller molecules through the walls of the small intestine into the bloodstream, which delivers them to the rest of the body.
Okay, you got it correct. How about the last, the fourth processes? Anyone? Yes, Abby.
The last process in the digestive system is waste products of digestion passed through the large intestine and out of the body as a solid matter called stool.
Okay, this was the last one. Very good, everyone. You got it all correct.